Garmin Epix Pro promises an AMOLED beast that lasts for weeks, tracks like a lab instrument, and replaces your headlamp. Either we've reached the holy grail of adventure smartwatches, or we're staring at another battery life fantasy wrapped in titanium. On paper it's wild: multiband GNSS with SatIQ, a physical LED flashlight on every size, sapphire lens options, 10 ATM water rating, new hill score and endurance score, and up to 31 days of battery on the 51. Sounds criminally generous, but here's the thing. AMOLED plus multiband usually equals charge anxiety. Here's what caught my attention and what didn't. I trained, slept, and traveled with the 47mm Sapphire model across trails, city streets, and the pool. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 4 weeks of testing. Here's what the Epix Pro claims to do. It's a premium multi-sport GPS smartwatch with a bright, sunlight-ready AMOLED display and truly long battery life. Garmin promises pro-grade tracking with multiband accuracy and SatIQ to save battery, training readiness, HRV status, and new hill endurance scores for smarter coaching, full topo maps and turn-by-turn navigation on your wrist, a built-in LED flashlight, red mode, and 10 ATM durability for real adventures. Sounds unbeatable, right? A Fenix with a TV screen that somehow sips power, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check. Battery life is the headline claim, so let's start there. They claim up to 31 days in smartwatch mode on the 51, 16 on the 47, and 10 on the 42. What you actually get depends massively on settings. With always-on display off, auto brightness, pulse ox off, and SatIQ for GPS, my 47 averaged 9-10 days. Turn on always-on display plus daily 60-minute runs in multiband and it drops to 4-5 days. That's still excellent for AMOLED, but let's be real, the big numbers assume conservative settings. Evidence? On 3 tracked long runs using all systems multiband, I lost roughly 7-9% battery per hour. Switched to SatIQ and it fell to about 5-6%. That's the real magic of SatIQ, smartly toggling multiband only when needed. GPS accuracy, they claim pro-grade precision. What you actually get is genuinely top tier, especially on the Sapphire models with dual frequency. In dense city canyons, the Epix Pro's tracks hugged the correct side of the street more often than my Apple Watch Ultra 2 and matched a Strid foot pod for distance within 0.3% on a measured 10K. On forested switchbacks, the Epix held lock where older MIP Garmin's would sometimes wander. Here's why: dual frequency reduces multipath error and SatIQ avoids wasting power when signal is clean. Heart rate and training metrics, they claim smarter coaching via training readiness, HRV status, and those new hill and endurance scores. What you actually get is useful guidance, not gospel. The Elevate V5 sensor tracked steady runs within 1-2 BPM of my chest strap. During VO2 intervals, it lagged spikes by a couple seconds and sometimes overshot recoveries, normal for wrist optical. Training readiness did a good job flagging nights with poor sleep or late dinners, but it can be conservative after travel and will tank if you leave pulse ox on. Hill score and endurance score add context over time, but don't expect them to change your training overnight. They reflect consistency and terrain exposure more than raw talent. Maps and features, Garmin touts preloaded topo maps and massive storage. Reality check, Sapphire units get 32 GB and preloaded topo active maps plus multiband. Non-Sapphire units usually have less storage and require downloads, and dual frequency may be missing. That's a big difference. The flashlight, it's not a gimmick. It saved my ankles on pre-dawn stairs and worked as a safety beacon with strobe and red mode. The plot twist: AMOLED is stunning, but it's not as battery frugal as MIP and there's no solar option. Burn-in, Garmin uses pixel shift and timeouts. After 4 weeks I saw no retention, display and visibility. The AMOLED is bright, crisp, and readable in sun with auto boost, but always on plus high brightness will eat battery faster than you expect. Compared to a Fenix 7 Pro's MIP, Epix looks better indoors and at night. Fenix wins on ultra-long trips with always-on display. Sunlight-treatable AMOLED with auto brightness, AOD looks fantastic but costs 30–50% battery overhead depending on usage. Red shift mode at night reduces blue light and preserves night vision, helpful for stargazing or cockpit use. Battery life. 47 real world, 9-10 days smartwatch with AOD off. 4-5 days with AOD on and daily multiband workouts. GPS drain, -5-6% per hour with SatIQ, -7-9% with forced multiband. Music streaming via Bluetooth adds -2-3% per hour. GPS accuracy. Dual frequency on Sapphire is the quiet hero. City canyons and tree cover stay clean. Non-Sapphire users may see slightly more wobble, build, and comfort. 10 ATM Sapphire crystal option titanium bezel on Sapphire editions, excellent button feel. The 51 wears big. 47 is the sweet spot for most. 42 is great for small wrists but has shorter battery. Training metrics. Training readiness correlates with sleep and HRV, helpful for planning easy versus hard days, but it is not a coach. Hill and endurance scores reward consistency more than hero workouts. Smart features. Offline Spotify/Deezer storage works. Wi-Fi sync is quick, Bluetooth sync can lag. No ECG, no LTE, and fewer third-party apps than Apple Android. Garmin Pay is fine once set up. Here's what nobody tells you. Only Sapphire models get the full trifecta of multiband, preloaded maps, and 32 GB storage. Also, turning on Pulse Ox 24/7 will nuke your readiness and your battery. Use it on demand. Verdict: recommended for athletes and adventurers who want AMOLED without surrendering to daily charging. Pros: class-leading GPS on Sapphire, genuinely useful flashlight, premium build, strong training tools, excellent maps. Cons: pricey, no solar or LTE, battery claims depend heavily on settings, non-Sapphire variants lose key features. If you're mostly a smartwatch person, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is more connected. If you're an ultra runner who lives off-grid for days, a Fenix 7 Pro or Enduro might be smarter. But if you crave that vibrant screen and still want week-long endurance, Epix Pro hits the sweet spot. Price swings on Amazon can be significant, so value depends on the deal you find. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions about sizes or Sapphire versus non-Sapphire? Drop them below. Next up, I'm testing Epix Pro versus Fenix 7 Pro battery head-to-head on a mountain weekend. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Train smart, spend smarter.